Hey folks, Ben here with the Sawtooth Avalanche Center. You and I are in the southern Sawtooths, just north of the Alturas Creek drainage on McDonald Peak. We're at about 8,200 feet on a northeast facing slope. I want to tell you a little bit about the snow that I'm finding here, and then I want to give you a look forward at the weather that we're going to see, expecting to see, and how we might see snowpacks like the ones we have reacting. If you've been watching any of these videos or reading a report, what I'm about to say doesn't surprise you. We've got a pretty stiff, particularly near the base, meaty slab, and it's sitting on, you guessed it, weak, sugary facets. The layer here is about 8 to 10 centimeters thick, 3 or 4 inches thick, and it's producing unstable snowpack test scores in all of my tests. This is a propagation saw test. I ran my saw along the weak layer and I just made it to here. It's about 21 centimeters out of 100 centimeters. That fracture propagated this whole way and the block slid down. That's what it looks like here, and that's what it looks like almost everywhere in our forecast area where we've had this new snow that fell in the last 8 or 9 days sitting on older snow, anywhere there was snow before the storm that started on the 11th of December. Looking forward in the weather, starting on Wednesday, we're going to see snow returning to the area. We've been seeing light-ish trickles for the last little bit. This area got maybe 4 to 6 inches yesterday. Further north, we got almost a foot. Further south, it was less. But we're going to see precipitation return in earnest starting on Wednesday, continuing through Christmas, that's Saturday, and potentially beyond then. As we see that, we're going to start piling up this snow deeper and deeper, adding weight to this really weak snow underneath, and building how thick these slabs are. As a result of that, when avalanches are happening on here, they're going to be breaking really wide. We're going to be able to trigger them remotely from the bottom of slopes or from the side of slopes. And they're going to be wrapping around terrain features like ridges, wrapping around gullies, wrapping around different aspects, because the slab's got a lot more strength and the weak layer exists in a lot of places. As we stack that snow up, at a certain point, we'll start to see these avalanches happening naturally. And the timing on that is really hard to predict. It's going to depend on a lot of things. The condition of the weak layer, the thickness of the slab, how fast the snow is falling, the intensity of the precipitation. But it's safe to say if the storm pans out as it's expected to, and at this point they're calling for over 2 feet of snow here over the course of a couple of days, we're going to be seeing avalanches on that. So the timing on that is tough to read, but it's pretty safe to say that as we stack snow on top of this, we're going to see likelihood of triggering slides involving this increase. We're going to see the avalanche danger increase. The other thing we're watching out for is what's going on the surface of the snow. Yesterday in the storm that we had, we buried some further south where it was a bit more sunny. We had some crusts, these interesting crusts called radiation recrystallization crusts, but they're crusts with facets above them and below them basically. And in other places we buried, slightly faceted surfaces that maybe didn't look quite as concerning, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. So when we put a slab on top of those, we'll also see those behaving differently. And we'll see that on aspects that face the sun and don't have this snow underneath, even there, because the slab's nice and dense, we've got nice smooth surfaces on top, we're gonna start to worry about avalanches between that new snow and this interface that we'll bury here in just a day or two. So things are gonna get more complex out here. A lot of folks have been enjoying skiing and riding on sunny aspects, particularly at low and middle elevations, because we don't have weak snow near the ground in those places. But we're gonna see complexity increase significantly, and we're gonna have to take some big steps back in the terrain that we're choosing, and gonna have to let Mother Nature call the cards on that. So if you're out and about, let us know what you're seeing. Super helpful observations are things like how much is it snowing, even how much snow is there when you pop your sled out of your truck at the trailhead, or those sorts of things. Drop us a line. There's all sorts of ways. Visit our website, sawtoothavalanche.com. Check the forecast before you head out, and enjoy the fresh snow and be safe out there. Thanks a lot for listening.